Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here with match number 2 with our Mirage Visions Weatherlight draft. Yes, we'd like to play first in an aggro deck. This is two early 2/2 drops and Delirium, which we saw the power of this in match number 1, so I'm definitely going to keep this. And again, there's not really many dead draws. More lands can get to Thundermare. We have no need for another swamp though, as we don't have anything I don't think that costs double black. Yes, we do. We have a Python in the deck, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start off with a swamp, pass a turn, and we'll start off with a fledgling or a Fallen Ascari, as it doesn't do as much damage to us early on as the Djinn does. So not liking to see that land. Wanted to see something else we can progress our board with, but the Fallen Ascari is definitely fine. 2/2 for 2 mana. Gets a green deck, though. It can get outclassed quite easily. Next turn, I'll go Fledgling Djinn. Let's just hope he doesn't have any card here to actually stop this Fallen Ascari. He does not, so it's going to get in there for 2 damage. And this is actually nice because we can play both of them. So I'm going to go ahead and attack in. And the Rock Hatchling, again, in this format, 4 turns to get going is quite a while, but you never know, especially in this sort of matchup like green versus red-black, you're going to want some evasive damage at the very end, because he's going to start clunking up the board. And I think Rock Hatchling and Fledgling Djinn are going to get us there. So let's go ahead and cast these two, pass the turn back to him. Delirium can punish him if he goes for like a Crashing Rhinos. 8 damage isn't bad for 3 mana. So he's going to be a green-red. So this is a 3rd red deck, including our own, that is out. He has the Bogart and Firefang. When it dies, it deals 2 damage to our creature. I think we just let him kill off the Fledgling Djinn or the Rock Hatchling. I'm okay with that. And can't cast the Python, speak of the devil. I am going to attack in, because he can choose here what to kill. And he can actually block the Fallen Ascari and then kill off the Fledgling Djinn immediately. So maybe that wasn't the greatest play on my part, because I'm sure that's what's going to happen. Yeah, so he takes no damage here. But we get the Bogarden out of the way, which is something we do need out of the way. And can't cast the Python, as it is the one double black card in our entire deck. So that exchange was good for him. I think maybe I should have just kept this guy back and wheedle away with the Fledgling Djinn. But we'll have to wait and see what he ends up casting here. And so he has to discard a land card for this Fallow Worm. That's a 4/4. See, that's a very, very powerful card. I am going to tap it down with Delirium. Want to use it right now. Get in there for some damage. It does 4 to him as well. And I'll add the extra 2. So we just need this Rock Hatchling online. Could have done it in a turn. Just did it right then, though. Save some time. And this will allow us to get in with the Fallen Ascari. We can cast the Python now, so now he can't really attack in with his worm either. Unless he wants to go for the race, which I'm pretty far ahead, especially with the 3/2 evasive creature that's going to be coming out. So here's the Python. Delirium has just been very good so far in the games we've had it. So he must be a ramp deck with lots of lands, was able to actually not hurt himself with the getting the worm out. And now he's got a wild elephant, so now he can attack in with the worm. He decides not to. So there's no point for me to attack in with either of these. But Rock Hatchling, 1 turn away, becoming a 3/2, and then he's on a 4-turn clock from that. So let's not draw into a land. Not a bad card because it actually trades very favorably with either one of his Wild Elephant or his Fallow Worm. So I'm just going to go ahead and not attacking with anything. And I'm going to keep a card in my hand to make him guess. There's no point to playing the land. Next turn, if we have drawn to Thundermare, we can actually drop it and just cast the Thundermare. So Vaishino Warrior does allow us to trade with the Fallow Worm, does allow us to trade with the Wild Elephant. He has 2 cards left in hand. Crashing Rhinos is going to be very scary if he gets it out. But yeah, if he's just going to allow me to pass, the Rock Hatchling is going to do some amazing things here. So here we come with our 3/3. Unless he's got removal for it. She might have a choke. And then we're definitely into top deck mode. I could actually attack in with everything here. He could block. I don't think I need to at this point, though. We can wait for an Alpha Strike. Because if he blocks like the Foul Worm on the Python and the Wild Elephant on the Vaishino Warrior, we get in for 2 mana. If he blocks the Wild Elephant on the Fallen Ascari, they trade. And then like here and here, he'll lose his, or block here, he'll take 4 damage, and that's a quicker clock. But no point right now. We'll play a Mountain, though. And pass it to him. Cinderwall is not the greatest threat against us. So again, our evasive creatures hopefully will be the difference of this game, because we are getting land flooded. But I do have some hasters that I can draw into. I do have a few more flying creatures. And he's down to a 6. 1 card in our graveyard. If we do draw into the Misery, we can go for an Alpha Strike and then use the Misery. Lose all of our creatures and then actually use it to kill him. He's got to start attacking. He needs to start trying to pound through. But he's on a 2-turn clock. He really needs to find an answer. There's another flyer. We'll get in here for the Hatchling. Now he's down to 3. Throw out the Fledgling Djinn. And see if he has, like... there was a Choking Vines or some card like that destroys flying creatures. He might have it. I highly doubt it's main board, though. Especially with the lack of flying that really is in this format. He might be stuck on a 3rd color. I didn't get to see any information, though he does scoop. As if it is a 3rd color, then the Stone Rains are pretty good to come in. So... I guess I don't even have a Haunting Misery. I'm going to bring it in because I think we're going to be trading a lot. See, Choking Vines, I took one of them. Okay, so it doesn't do flyers. It does attacking... Extra attacking creatures become blocked and deals 1 damage to each of those creatures. Okay. Alright, so for some reason I thought this was like a anti-flying card. It's not. So we're good there. Army Ants, he is going to be sacking lands and discarding lands. I don't know if it needs to come in. If it's just better than a lot of our earlier stuff that just doesn't... I mean, Rock Hatchlings seem really good. Tendrils of Despair actually seem good. And Lightning Reflexes, First Strike, very, very relevant in this format. Since I'm on the play, maybe I take out a land. I have seem to be getting a little bit on the flood side with 17. Maybe we'll go down to 16. I'm going to do that. I'm going to submit this. Alrighty, so not a bad hand. We can actually go first turn Dark Ritual and the Fallen Ascari, or wait for the Thundermare, which I do believe we're gonna wait for the Thundermare. So I'm gonna keep this. And if I do draw into like a Python, I will first turn Dark Ritual into a Python. But we'll just throw out the Mountain for the Funeral Charm. If he puts out anything that with 1 toughness, we can take care of it. Missing his green source here. Throw out our Fallen Ascari. See if Bogren and Fiend comes out here. If he does, we'll trade with it. Sukata Lancer, 2/2, flanking, and we're going to be racing here, so he's going to get in for 2 damage. Yeah, there's no way he keeps it back. He attacks in here. So, don't know what he's thinking about. Yeah, that was terrible because my guy has flanking. And if flanking says, whenever a creature without flanking blocks this creature, the blocking creature gets -1/-1. This guy can't even block. I don't know why he didn't attack there. Maybe he just doesn't understand flanking quite properly. Or he just didn't read that my guy can't block. But anywho, we're going to coerce him this turn. Let's see, with Dark Ritual I can add 3, and then so I'm up to 4/5, not quite up to Thundermare. So I definitely will coerce him to see what's in his hand. And he's got a Wild Elephant, a Fire Blast. A Fire Blast says you may sacrifice 2 mountains rather than pay its 4 damage. Downdraft kills. Target creature loses flying. Downdraft 2 damage to each creature with flying. I have no flying so far. You have a Shroud flanking. I have a 3/3. What was a Village Elder? Regenerate target creature. Can't cast this. Wild Elephant's the closest thing for him to cast. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Wild Elephant. And then we'll get in here with the Fallen Ascari. And yeah, they'll trade. Okay, so that's what he wanted to keep that back for. And I'm definitely okay with that. And he gets the Village Elder, but does not draw that land. Fire Blast is weak against Thundermare. We'll Dark Ritual into Thundermare and then let the race begin. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so Dark Ritual. Thundermare. He missed that land drop. We got a lot of relevant, well, the relevant 3/3 Trampler out of his hand. He's got the 2/2 Shroud flanking. We can Funeral Charm that Village Elder off if we want to. And even if he drops into Mountain, he can't cast the Shroud 2/2 guy. Attacking the Village Elder. Definitely not a threat, and I'm sure the Downdraft will come out here. Yep. So Lightning Reflexes, that's going to go nicely on a Python. Or we can actually just cast it on the Thundermare. And cast them both here. I think that's what we'll do. This does an extra bit of damage. Makes this guy a first striker. Whoa. Let's cast correctly. We'll put a Python out. Lightning Reflexes. Get in there for 6. And he's down to a 9. And if he leaves his Village Elder back to block this turn, we can just Funeral Charm it, kill it, and then swing in for perfect damage. So he has 1 unknown card, 2 unknown cards. Fire Blast actually can save him, but that really puts him behind. By sacking 2 mountains, do 4 damage to the Python. And I think I just make him do that next turn by killing his Funeral Charming his Village Elder. Fire Whip. What in the world does this do? Deals 1 damage to our creature player. Sacrifice Whip deals 1 damage to our creature player. Okay, so he can block and kill stuff, so I'm gonna just go ahead and target creatures +2/-1. He's gonna do damage to the Python with the fire with the Village Elder, and then sacrifice the Fire Whip to do 2 more damage, right? Oh, he's gonna Fire Blast off my Thundermare, but that's gonna really put him behind. And he had a lot of higher casting cost stuff. But that's the way he survives. Yeah, that's his only hope. So I like that play on his part. But he's still 2 more turns with the Python. And he needs to draw into double lands. Target creature loses flying until end of turn. Well, that Tar Pit Warrior is useless with Downdraft. Because I have to sacrifice it immediately if he downdrafts. But he misses land drop. He is in a world of hurt. Fledgling Djinn. Let's see if he sacrifices it. 2 damage each creature flying. I'm going to make him get rid of it right now. I guess he can use downdraft, the sacrifice on downdraft whenever. Pretty cool sideboard card for sure. I'm glad we were end up able to take this matchup down, because that's a scary card versus me. The cool thing about this is if you have any flying creatures you own, you can actually make them lose flying and then sacrifice it, and then it won't affect your own guys that did have flying. Anyway, we are on to the finals. Pretty quick matchup here. Very good hands both games, and our opponent did struggle that game with not getting the 4th land to be able to play his cards. Anyway, this has been Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.